What is going on, guys? Welcome to week number 7 preview video. It's been a week since we got our Wednesday videos up, but nonetheless, we are back, and we're going to do this one. We're going to kick this one off with Midland State Recruiting Board and Odessa, the two rivals. Pretty, like, what? How many miles away from each other?
20 miles apart, I think.
Yeah, so
somewhere around there.
Got to see what these two teams are up to. Let's get into it.
All right, let's start off with Midland State here. We have Pat Dowdell, the number 3 athlete. Kind of looks like a quarterback. Kind of fits a quarterback mold. I think that would be a big get for Midland State.
Does he have, what was his height? Oh, yeah, 6'5", for sure.
Oh, yeah, so that would be a big signing. You see Odessa there, number 2. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Quentin Kleck here out of Colorado. ACU currently in the lead for his kicking services. And then we got a string of lockouts here with Nick Greco. He's gone. Mike Merrill, we came in second. Hudson, Odessa was sort of hanging around, couldn't seal the deal, and then Alex Brooks. So we're going to take all 4 of these guys off the board, but I like to leave them on for a little while just to show you guys some follow-up on our earlier recruiting and see what happened there.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, so Midland's got a rebound from those losses there. Kent Collins were number 1.
And the strategy behind this, just kind of leaving him hanging here a little bit, is why?
Well, just because we're in the lead and we added some new players to the board recently and we're kind of putting our points on them. We're going to pick it up, though, with Collins after this week. We're just going to let it ride and see what happens after 1 week. Because we got this guy here, Alex Jefferson, number 1 possession wide receiver.
Yeah.
Right behind ACU. He looks like he's close to making a commitment. Then John Johnson. Midland needs a quarterback. They need a quarterback for later. They have Whiteside, who's going to take over next year, but after that, they really need an answer. So that's why they want Dowdell, Collins, and this guy who they're behind on, John Johnson. John Hunter, Amarillo, currently number 1 there. James Bailey, we're a little far behind there in Notre Dame, but...
a little bit?
Yeah. Fawerda, I don't know. We're just kind of hanging around. He looks like he's going to
Wow, so Camu with Jameel Carter. He's really liking them.
Oh, yeah, I think he'd be a good fit there for sure. Freddie Bolden. You see a lot of these guys from Midland State. They're not really up on the number 1 list there, so they're going to need to make some headway. RJ James is one of those guys that we are in the lead with. Andrew Davis, maybe we could probably make up some ground there. We'll see where it takes us. Luke Morse, guy that Midland could probably pry away from Denver, I think. And then Adam Murphy, definitely looking at some wide receivers. Center is an area of need in the future. You see Ardmore leading for Chad Randall. Garrett Moss, a little far behind. Jackson, I believe, was a new addition. Grayson Stanfield.
Ooh, he's hanging in there right with Ardmore.
Yeah, because we were talking about, you're looking for a quarterback down the line.
Yeah.
Midland's looking for a quarterback down the line. Stanfield could factor into that. All right, and here we have kind of some guys that could factor in the secondary. These were the new additions to the board, and we're spending some points on them because we want to get in the mix here. Justin Dodds, Clinton Brown at corner, and then Flowers. So we're making some headway there. Early in the process, they really have not made up their minds yet. So I think we can make a move on these guys.
All right, so let's finish this recruiting board off with Odessa. Odessa State, actually. I always seem to drop the state.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can call him Odessa for short. Pat Dowdell, we were talking about him on Midland's board. Odessa number 2. So that recruiting battle is heating up there. Caldwell looking at McAllen and Texas A&M. Pretty close race at the top. The number 2 guard out of Houston. Marcus Neal, he left us hanging there. And then we talked about Hudson. Jefferson also locked us out. So we're going to have to add some guys to Odessa's board next week.
It's pretty interesting to me that Alex Jefferson, that type of receiver, doesn't want to be involved in an offense like Odessa.
But he's looking at all our Big 12 teams. So obviously he's looking for a team that's going to throw the ball. So I see Ardmore hanging around there, number 4. That's interesting.
Gotta get him, man. Gotta nab him.
Yeah, John Johnson, again, on that board for Midland and Odessa as well. Texas Tech's really stomping on us. They're getting on our turf here. I don't like that. Slade Morton, number 3. Fawerda, we're in second. I don't know if we're close enough for that. I'm not sure. But obviously Odessa needs to upgrade like the run defense, things like that. Brian Parks at wideout. We're trying to get some receivers in the program too. Micah Gutierrez could be one of those guys there. A new addition to the board. He is we're just making some progress as well on Corey Hargrove. Randall's on our board too. I don't know. We're going to stick with that. Joe Patrick.
That guy might be a pretty solid player.
6'4", 211.
He seems like he's either going to... What is that? 6'4"? I mean, that seems like quarterback-ish, but that might even be a safety.
Yeah.
211 pounds.
No,
I mean,
he can't play quarterback. He's definitely going to play
Oh.
defense, probably with 80 tackle.
Yeah, right there.
So,
Sounds like a safety.
yep. Obviously, Odessa, they're
a
getting
big
help
safety.
anywhere they can on defense. Matthew Henry, I just bumped his recruiting points up there, so you better watch out. Cody Ryan also we
It's a
added.
challenge.
Yep. And, obviously, Odessa, wide receiver was looking to be an issue, as well as the front seven. And obviously in the Big 12, you're going to need that secondary to be in good shape. Kyler Ravato,
Jeez, he's going Army.
we lost him to the United States Army. So Cartier Thomas locked us out. It's a race between Virginia and ACU for him. And then we see some new additions down here that, we're in the lead. So Odessa shape is not quite as big as it was last year, but quality-wise, I think it's pretty solid right now.
All right, checking out the top 25. As always, last week Denver Tech beat ACU, which moves them up into the number 1 slot. Perfect.
Yeah.
Because if you guys look, Alabama ranked number 8 now. They
Yeah.
were number 1. They lost to Texas A&M, so that's going to vault Denver Tech to the number 1 spot.
And then you got Washington hanging around here at number 2. Ohio State checking in number 3 there. And then NC State still on a roll here. So you got to like where they're at.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the NC State thing, man.
I mean, they're in the same division as Clemson, Florida State, Miami. So they're going to have a hard time moving forward. You see Florida State there ranked ahead of ACU. And I did skip Ardmore.
You did. You
I know.
skipped us. You
They're
slighted us.
Illegitimate. They're overrated.
I mean, hey, man, we beat some pretty solid teams, and we know
true.
how to win.
Oh,
Just like the website was saying.
That-
Jeff Henderson was quoted as saying, "We just know how to win."
that's code for we're skating by and getting lucky. All right, Midland State there jumps from 17 to 9 after
That's
their huge win over
pretty big.
Broken Arrow. So big leap there. I wonder if there's some carnage ahead of them. Clemson falls to Miami at Oklahoma State. Texas goes from unranked to 14 after obliterating Oklahoma. So maybe that Oklahoma win for Ardmore losing a
us.
little bit of luster. Because, I mean, Oklahoma's getting destroyed by some of these. Texas and Washington just wiped the floor.
Yeah, that's not good for us.
No. Stanford,
us all.
Oregon, Miami, Utah down the list. Michigan cracks the top 25. And then McAllen hanging on for dear life there at number 25. They got a big game coming up where they are decided underdogs here. Number 1, Denver Tech, going to McAllen, Texas. Others receiving votes. We are not on the radar for the Big 12, unfortunately. Maybe this next week we'll have some movement.
All right, you guys know what time it is. It's time for the Heisman Watch. And guess who's not on the list?
I don't see Durkheim Timmons or Amani Stoudemire.
I don't see any of those guys on the list, but I do see CJ Wicks.
How about that?
That's an interesting turn of developments here.
Oh, yeah, 110 yards rushing last week against Broken Arrow. You can see he's got the 14 touchdowns, 2 picks with 1,400 yards.
He's on pace for a better season.
Yeah, and rushing, too. 3.9 versus 1.9. Obviously, in college, your sack total factors into your rushing, but you see the rushing per game is up, and he has 3 rushing touchdowns already. So good stuff there. And then you see Finley, Warren, Harris, and Gaskin. Top 3 are running backs. I wonder if it's a year of the running back.
Very well could be, but
I think
they
I'd
might
like to
be
see-
valuing Wicks's running right there because of the year of the running back.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think Stoudemire and Timmons are still right there. So I think, good second half. I think you'll see him get back onto this board. So we'll see.
If this was more of a top 10 list, they'd definitely be on it.
All right, conference standings, just to give you guys just a peek here. Hopefully by now you're familiar with how the divisions are arranged, but the Big 12 East got shellacked last week. Ardmore, the only team that have come out unscathed with their 3-point win over Kansas A&M. So obviously this is highly in flux right now. Not sure what's going to happen, but you got a leg up out of the gate on the entire division, so that's good there for you.
It's always good to stake out to an early 1-0 lead, but when we go to the West,
Yeah.
You talk about being in flux. Well, now the West is still in flux because you have so many teams that are
and you're playing Odessa. You see that 95 offense. And you got Denver Tech, Midland, who are in the top 10, obviously. Nebraska State looking like a sleeper, maybe. And then you got Camu, we see 93 overall, so I don't think they're done yet. But I think the Big 12 West is going to be a dogfight, and we'll keep checking in with this every Wednesday just to give you guys an update, a look at the standings.
Interesting statistic here. Look at all the points for. About 170, 190, and then the points against about 100, 115-ish.
Yeah, Camu's defense is not as good as it was last year, it doesn't look like.
Yeah, and then we look at this, and it's kind of the same. But look at that Broken Arrow.
A little more pedestrian on offense, but Broken Arrow's defense has played pretty well.
Yeah, Johansson, we work hard here at University of Broken Arrow.
All right, Players of the Week. We didn't get anybody for the NCAA, but let's see what they had. You had Wicks and Stephen Dixon. Got that fumble recovery with the 2 sacks against ACU. And then what happened last week, because we skipped last week.
Yep, Nick Farrow with the 8 tackles, a sack, a forced fumble. Had a pretty good game defensively. And then Marcus Rodriguez finally has a good showing, but it was against Tulane. Right. 5 touchdowns, 258. Yeah, I mean, you should do that against Tulane.
You're right.
All right, guys, time to check out an NFL update. We got Miami against Oakland. We got Jedd Carmichael starting yet again for the Dolphins, making some pretty nice throws. These are just really quick cut-up highlights here, just of some really good throws, some bad throws as well, maybe some poor decision-making as well. But we got
Can't be perfect.
Carmichael and Robert Bishop that we're going to check out in this video. Everybody else, you can't really check out on them because they're not starting.
They're not starting, except for Amari Manuel as a number 3 wide receiver for the Colts. But, obviously starting quarterback is where all the juicy stuff is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We'll get an update, like statistics on Amari Manuel here in the next couple weeks. But, you have to basically watch an entire game to just get a couple highlights for him.
Right. And, Carmichael moving the ball down the field. It's 3-0 Oakland. You got the Raiders with John Gruden.
Making some pretty solid throws here. But, he's got some good game management right here. He's just taking the easy open throws, and he's got a touchdown here to Derby.
A.J. Derby. He threw a little bit behind him. I don't know if that was a great pass. But there's John Gruden.
Can't believe it.
Not happy.
I can't believe this guy. He's picking us apart. 13-10, we lose.
Yeah, the offenses didn't show up.
What are you going to do, John? Can't do anything. Now when you're Jedd Carmichael, and you got the gunslinger mentality that he's got going.
Got it going on. So, liking that, in the teal and orange.
He looks good.
Yeah.
So we got some updates here, statistics-wise, for Robert Bishop before we actually get into some gameplay. He actually came back and won this game. Threw 2 interceptions off of tipped balls, and then later on in the fourth quarter, he scored 2 touchdowns to lead them back and get a win. And they also beat the Saints on 190. That's about 190 yards with 3 touchdowns and a pick there. And he beat the Saints. So he's actually playing pretty well.
Yeah, outplayed Drew Brees. You got to like the decision for the Giants to commit to Bishop. Obviously, you're under a lot of pressure. You can't touch Eli Manning around New York. So he's, golden child.
Exactly.
So there's Tom Brady beating Jedd Carmichael. Tannehill has to fill in. Maybe Carmichael got knocked out. He's healthy, though. He's fine, but Tannehill does come in off the bench for some reps there.
Yeah, and we're just going to check out the medical center here just to make sure, and the injury report, because I think he either had to come out for like a couple quarters and stuff. Okay, so he's not hurt. He's good.
Good.
He's solid. So now let's check out the Giants against the Panthers, and look at Bishop, man. He's just making some pretty solid throws yet again. Up the middle there to Coleman. So he's doing what he did at ACU. Just making 20-yard throws, nice little slant throws here to Beckham. Like, he's getting it done.
Yeah, you got to like it. That debate's going to rage on about who the better quarterback pick was between Bishop and Carmichael. Obviously coming from the same division in the Big 12, so playing against each other for a few years. There's a little bit of a rivalry going on, and obviously there's going to be a lot of talk on the sports show.
Well, talk is cheap because look at that throw. Look at that throw, man. Right up the middle. The strong safety was coming over and just couldn't pick it off, and that's Coleman for the big-time touchdown. And the Giants are going to tack on 7 here. It's going to be 14-7 here late in the third quarter. Bishop backed up on the 8-yard line, so he's got to get rid of it pretty quickly here. But look at Luke Kuechly just batting the ball down from Saquon Barkley. Can't make the catch. That's Captain Munnerlyn also in on the deflection. So a little bit later here in the third quarter, we're not showing any defense, right? We're just showing the offensive player, and he gets just wrecked.
Slide next time, dude.
Yeah, what are you doing? This isn't college here, Rob. And then there's a nice pass. That was a pretty good throw, but a drop is... Oh, he caught that. He caught that. So Bishop, now 9 of 12 for 147 yards. Field position flips.
That does nothing for me for fantasy.
Going to the fourth quarter. 3rd and 12, and what are you doing? That was bad.
Must not have seen the cover there, the safety coming over, so...
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. You can't make that throw, man. Not in the NFL. If you're going to lollipop it, do it to the sideline like that. I mean, geez. Make it a little bit tough here. Yeah, 21-7, and Bishop's going to have to start firing here, and he does. And then there you go. So Odell Beckham, the sure-handed Odell Beckham, has a drop. We go to 2nd and 18, and then yet again, another not strong throw and an interception. So, guys, the Panthers are going to win this game. And Bishop did not have his best pro performance.
Well, rookies, that's what happens.
All right, guys, let's check out the picks. It's time to look at the new standings here. Jacob Canatella with 47. Now he's tied with Illinois' OP at 47 also. You guys picked the same teams here.
Yeah.
Odessa, Ardmore. A lot of people had McAllen that really set them back.
We did have, we had some upsets there. Nebraska State and Amarillo were the big ones. Odessa was totally split with Little Rock.
Big Geo, Heel Boy, and Diabolist at 46. Don't be discouraged here if you're not in the gold or the silver. You guys here in the 30s can still make a large comeback. Alex V, I didn't get picks from you, sir. But look at Peter V, man. Or Peter. It's Peter YouTube. Had 6. No, he had 8. Ardmore, Midland State, Denver Tech, Amarillo. That's pretty dang good.
Jelani Lewis, shout out, did get all 6.
Yes, he did. I was just going to try to find him there. But yeah, a lot of you guys here in the high 20s, mid 30s, you guys still have a shot here in case, something crazy happens where, the top dogs end up losing their lead. But, don't quit. Don't quit on it because these conference games are worth 2 points. So we'll see how it shakes out for the rest of the season and this week. And again, I'm going to keep saying it, but you guys make your picks at the Pick Center on the website, goldglovergaming.com. All right, guys, now time for our week number 7 picks, conference week number 2. And guys, go check out the website, goldglovergaming.com. There will be a link to the team builder part of the website where you guys can go and check out Heel Boy's picks and analysis, so you can see where he's going with some of his picks and seeing what he's seeing here with stats and really what the feel is about certain teams and the matchups. Basic analysis.
And you'll have the standings on your website, correct? Updated standings.
Yes, I will have the updated standings as well. And you guys can also make your picks at the Pick Center. And I've already posted a video yesterday on where you guys can find all of this type of information that we're talking about. Because basically what I don't want to see happen is I don't know when you guys edit your picks on the YouTube comments. So I would prefer if you guys were able to just click on that Pick Center, click on the Make Picks, and then make your selections on Google Forms. That way it's official. I can see when you guys update it, everything like that. So basically what I don't want to happen is I don't want to have people edit their picks after the games have already been played and the results have happened. So, but yeah, and then we'll do it that way. But all right, so let's get into week number 7 here. Our analysis.
Okay, Kansas A&M at Broken Arrow. Camu, the decided edge in terms of talent rating, but production-wise, Broken Arrow has a little bit of an edge. Camu under 300 yards of total offense. Not good. Not good. And the defense not quite as good as it was last year. Last year they were elite defensively.
Yeah, and I just think that they lost, especially Santonio Farmer, their middle linebacker.
Heart and soul.
I was just going to say their heart and soul on that defense. That senior going to the Kansas City Chiefs. It hurts. It hurts them. They still have our free safeties and Sam Holycross and those types of guys back there. They still have some good players, but like you said, there's just something missing. Brian Street has to play well in this game for Broken Arrow to win, but I think Camu might take it.
I do too. Kyler Rivado visiting. Maybe Broken Arrow makes an impression. I hope it does, because if not, he's going to the Army, so we'll have to see about that. Midland State at Shreveport. If you guys remember last year, Shreveport kind of surprised Midland State, and I mean, I think this game is actually tailor-made for Shreveport to rebound.
You know what? It's actually going to be my pick.
Yeah, I like Shreveport too.
I think I'm going to take Shreveport. I think that Andre Wingo will sim well in this game, and I think that they're going to be able to keep Wicks off the field, which is always a good strategy, especially now that he's in the Heisman race.
Right.
I think maybe this is where you see Wicks kind of have that one shining moment where he's on the Heisman list and then he gets pulled off because of a not a good performance.
Right.
In this
I
game.
mean, Midland, they'll have opportunities down the road for Wicks to really shine, but I like Shreveport's defense. I think they're going to keep Wicks kind of in check. I think Midland will do some good things, but I don't know. I mean, obviously that 6th ranked offense, maybe they're quote unquote matchup proof. Maybe it won't matter, but
we'll have to see.
Obviously, Midland kind of decided favorites. They're probably a 10 or 11 point favorite according to the bookies.
Take the under.
I don't know. Shreveport. I think they gotta win a game like this if they're going to get to a bowl game, because those 3 wins are going to be. I mean, let's just take a peek at their schedule.
It's going to get tougher.
It's going to be hard. You got Little Rock, McAllen, Broken Arrow, Ardmore, Odessa, ACU. So, I mean,
it's basically
a lot of clean records here.
Yeah, and what I'm looking at, it's basically tough, off, tough, off, tough, off, tough. So it's just
but they can't.
On and off.
If they can't beat one of the tough teams, they got to win all of the off teams.
Right,
so
exactly.
That's why they got to pick off one of these games, I think, if they're going to make it. Now, Odessa going at Ardmore, you got some visits here: Orlando Goodlove and Tyson Fenner.
Yeah, we're going to have to impress both of these offensive type of players, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to do so, because Odessa's defense is not the best here in this Big 12 conference, and I feel like Shanahan and Shook, that's the 2 SHs,
yeah,
actually, and D.D. Foreman. I think we might be getting some running game going here with Wimberly. I think Wimberly might be able to come back in this game.
Redemption arc.
We might get some Wood. Don't say that again. We might get some Jake Wood getting involved, and then Shook and Wimberly. We might get all 3 of them.
Now, let's look at this. Turnover differential is something that people talk about with football teams, kind of predicting them year to year,
yeah,
as well as week to week.
Yeah.
The theory is that turnovers are very variable. They're very inconsistent game to game. Odessa seems to have relied on the turnover. You have fallen victim to turning the ball over. So that might be why your offensive numbers are not very good, and why Odessa's 5-0.
Could be.
So maybe
very well could be.
Maybe you're situated pretty well here, and that the turnovers have been kind of fluky. There's a chance of that.
I mean, there's been quite a few fumbles that the guys have to clean up. Shanahan hasn't had a lot of interceptions
Your
this year.
defense maybe is not forcing the turnovers.
Yes, that's a very good point as well.
All right, Denver Tech at McAllen. McAllen averaging 500 yards of offense. Pretty good. Although Denver obviously rolling on the ground with 317 per game.
Crazy.
I mean, we talked about this McAllen. That loss to Nebraska State has potential to be catastrophic, because we're looking here. We got Denver ACU at Shreve Midland.
And then Ardmore. They got 4 top 10 matchups in the next 8 weeks or 7 weeks. What is that? 2?
Right.
2, 4,
this was
6.
a team that was supposed to have the returning talent that was good enough to put everything together. You know, this was a team that preseason everybody was kind of looking at them like, that might be the squad. I don't know. But losing at Nebraska State, that's a game that they needed to have. And now you host Denver. I mean, you might be looking at 0-3 if they can't beat this Denver team or ACU.
You know what, though? I might take McAllen in this.
Just because their backs are against the wall?
Because their backs are against the wall. Are they at home?
Yeah.
They're at home. Dude, this might be where Denver Tech loses, finally. The one game that they lose. They played some pretty dang good quarterbacks in the last 2 years. Bishop, Stoudemire, Jedd Carmichael, Cade Wilson.
Josh Rosen.
Rosen as well. But I think with how everything has been lining up, this might be where Rodriguez takes the next step. They're putting up 500 yards of total offense.
It's gonna be a challenge for Denver. I mean, McAllen, they're a wounded animal. Backs against the wall. Got to get that W. Very interesting to see. Obviously, I don't want to spoil it, but that will be our game of the week. Top 25 matchup. Now we have Nebraska State at Little Rock. That bandwagon's getting full, everybody. The Prairie Dog bandwagon.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Little Rock.
Well, Little Rock, they're old hat. They lost a game, so just throw them in the dumpster. They're done. It's over. Right. They lost.
Even though you got the same record.
You're right. But Nebraska State, all the momentum is on their side. Bandwagon's getting crowded.
Ben Shinosky, Vivaldi. Pritchett's out for the year, though.
Yeah, and we did have that broken collarbone I mentioned in that game. That's a tough way to go for the senior. But Nebraska State 4-1, looking pretty. I mean, look at our rankings, too. Our numbers are really, really solid.
Better than mine.
I mean, our defense is holding up. I mean, we're still giving up some passing yards, but, I mean, all things considered, our rankings are pretty good. And then, I mean, nobody's been able to run on Little Rock. I think in-game, their secondary is hard. I think that's where the challenge is going to come in, is kind of try to attack their cornerbacks. I don't know. What do you think's going to happen here?
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for you to win this game. Again, that defense for Little Rock is their best part of the team. The offense is a lot better than it was last year with Rhett Bollinger.
Yep.
They actually have a little bit more of a running game, I feel like, with Monet and
Isaiah Green.
It doesn't show up in the rush offense total, but Jackson Prophet and Marquez Maben, they were basically just pass catchers.
Right.
Now you have guys that can actually pound it and ground it. But, you're going to have to – I don't know what you're going to do.
Honestly, it'll be interesting.
I don't know what you're going to do because Pritchett was your guy running the football.
Now you got Watson. I think he's like a 72. So
may need to start doing some more trick plays.
Yeah, we like the trick plays. That's what Prairie Dogs do. They use their cunning to survive. Yeah. Amarillo at ACU. Amarillo, I would describe those numbers, those rankings, as sturdy. Very sturdy team.
Yeah, that's true. 29, 45, 32. Yeah, there's nothing too bad and nothing too good.
Nothing flashy. You're kind of that B+. That's what they do. That loss to Nevada really, I mean, that kind of surprised them, but I think they bounced back pretty well. The last couple weeks, they knocked off Shreveport and Arizona.
D.D. Dukes looks the part. He looks better than Russell Springer.
Which is weird, because Springer's a 94, so I don't know.
Yeah.
He's always seemed to me like a CFL quarterback. I just think he'll have a future in the CFL. I don't know. But, we think Stoudemire will be good to go. He's a game time decision here. I think no matter who starts, I would take ACU for sure. I think they're going to roll.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's Vajic or Stoudemire, it's not going to seem to matter. I mean, Vajic is more of a thrower. Stoudemire can do it all. But, Vajic, he's had a couple runs, just a couple, but Stoudemire takes off a lot more.
I think this season will help Vajic in preparation to take over next year. I think he'll be...
Right.
He's like the little...
he's the understudy.
Yeah. I can't say he's been... not good, but he's also made a couple mistakes. But I think he'll use this as propel him forward next year.
Yeah, I'm not even falling for this trap game type of feel here with Amarillo.
Maybe if it was at Amarillo, but ACU's going to roll. So
yeah, it's ACU.
Give me Camus, Shreve, Ardmore. I didn't make a pick Denver McAllen. I'm going to go Denver, and then I'll take myself. I think I'll take that one and ACU.
Okay, all right. So just in review, you guys, I think you guys have already tallied my picks, but I'm going to take Camu, Shreveport, Ardmore, McAllen, Little Rock, ACU. So I think the only team that I took everybody but Broken Arrow would be the home team.
Okay. So you think the Big 12 East gets revenge this week?
No. You processed all that quick?
Well, hey, if your picks come to fruition, everybody in the conference is going to be 1-1. So,
which would be hilarious.
That
by
would
the way.
be funny.
Set up week 3 for conference play.
That hurt our national championship aspirations.
Yeah, that's probably true. All right,
actually, you'd be 2-0, I should say.
Whoop whoop.
Ardmore would be 2-0.
Would get to about 3rd ranking, probably.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, that's it for this episode. Leave a like if you like this thing, and make sure, yet again, you guys check out the website. Please make your picks at the Pick Center. If you want to post your comment here, you can do so, but I highly advise that you guys go to the Pick Center and do it that way, because I've been noticing that YouTube kind of loses some comments, and no matter how much digging I try to do or search for you guys' names, sometimes you don't come up. So, in the standings that we showed earlier, make sure that, your points seem like they're correct, because otherwise I probably didn't get it. Probably didn't see it on YouTube. So, again, go to that Pick Center, make your picks there. It'll be a lot easier on me, a lot easier on you guys, I'm sure of it. And that has also been updated. Those will be updated every Wednesday. We'll have Heel Boys picks updated every Wednesday on the site. So again, make sure you guys go check that out. Got anything else to add, sir, before we close out?
Nope.
Okay. All right. We'll see you guys on Saturday. As always, peace.